tonight, and I guarantee you I will not be as good as any of them. But I thought of this 10 minutes ago and tried a glass of wine, so here I am. When I think of Friends with Benefits, probably one of the best stories I can think of was when I was in college, I studied abroad in Europe, and I made amazing friends with these 12 Americans. Because, as I learned when they got there, the people who actually lived in Wales didn't want to travel around because they'd been there the whole life, and they were like, whatever, castles, we don't care. So me and these Americans would travel around, and the goal was to do it as cheaply as possible. So whenever you found a friend who knew somebody, who knew somebody, who knew somebody, you went to that third person's apartment and spent the night on their couch. And my one friend, Nicole, actually had family friends in Germany. This was the jackpot. I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. So pretty much this is the way the language barrier was going to work. I speak fluent English. Sometimes. She spoke a little German enough to teach me some very key phrases. Please and thank you. My name. I'm sorry, which I used a lot. Where's the bathroom? I also used a lot. And I'm lost. Use that the most. And then there was the family friend who was this man who's a doctor, and he spoke both fluent German and English. And then there was his mother who spoke some English, and then there was the father who spoke fluent German, no English. So we were the full spectrum. And so we're getting on the plane, and obviously we're about to hang out people ages like 45 and older, and me and Nicole were both 20. So she was a little nervous of having me hang out with, because she and I literally been friends for all 3 weeks before we went on this trip. We were very fast friends. And I, like usual, drank a bottle of wine on the plane. So I was a little tipsy. And as we land, I'm like, yes! And she was like, oh my god, what have I done? Which ensued this entire weekend of just crazy, awesome things. But this benefit of having this friends in German was because you really got to get a taste of what Germany was. One of the first nights we were there, and we stayed with the doctor one night. But then the next night I went to his family's house because he was on call, so he has these parents who were like in their, I want to say 80s. Well, yeah, 80s at this point. And, like, again, the husband spoke no English, so he's looking at us. And he started spamming mine like this, and we're like, and he goes, moo. Like, oh, milk. No, we don't want any milk right now. And so then, the first time we were there, they bring out all this alcohol. And we're like, wow, this is awesome. We're 20. So clearly not legal in the States. We're like, this is really cool. And they've got everything. Liquor and wine and beer in there. And then they put the shot glass in all this array of shots. And he pulls out a lighter. Starts lighting them all. I'm an extremely innocent 20-year-old. I did not drink in high school. So I'm like frightened. I'm staring at this and I'm like, oh my gosh. Now I have to drink a shot that's on fire. And they normally hurt in general, so I'm not sure how this will help. So I did do it because I felt rude, and then I got really drunk. And I woke up in the morning, and me and Nicole had shared there were these two beds in this room. And I wake up to this buzzing. Now, in concurrent with this theme, I'm sure your mind's going in certain areas, and I'm sorry, that's not where I'm going. It was a nest of bees that was underneath the window. And due to my dad's near-death experience before I was born, my family is deathly afraid of bees. So we hear this buzzing, and I don't really know what it is, and I'm like lying there, and all of a sudden I hear it getting louder and louder, and I'm really curious now. Don't want to look at Nicole, because I'm a little scared of what it is. And then I realize it's these bees, and they're flying over the ceiling, because the window had opened and they're flying all over the place. So we had to literally hide under a bed and crawl through a door and everything. So there were several adventures, but one of the last one was, we were walking around the square in Germany, and there was this TV crew, they were filming live, and they found Americans, and we were big because we had accents. So they wanted us to do tongue twisters on air. I speak fast normally, so they wanted me to say, when she sits, she sews, and when she sews, she sits. I slurred it, so that I was cursing on live national German television. And I probably said the word shit maybe 18 times. And the producers and Nicole were all laughing at me, and I thought I was just being really cool American, so I kept doing it over and over and faster and faster. Yeah. I never got to see that clip. I really kind of wish I had. But so at the end of the day, I wanted to thank, the guy, and so I drew a picture. And when it comes to artistic ability, I have none. Stick figures are my forte, so I drew American flag. I'm not sure if I got the right number of stars. I probably didn't do the right number of bars, and I think that the red ran out, so I used blue to fill in the bars. And we walked in the last day, and he had taken my flag and framed it on the wall. And I was like, you got to be kidding. So, all in all, I was afraid I'd lost a friend in Nicole, and it's been 6 years, and she actually emailed me last night to come visit her, so.